Yo. First, I want to give all praises to how about Shema Shah. Um, and in this video, what I kind of want to do is kind of just show y'all, and also to the people, just to Christians who may see this video, how the law it was kept throughout the whole entire Bible. I'm not gonna give y'all, all the verses, that shows you why the law should be kept. I'm just kind of point out a few. There's a few key ones, that's just like it's no doubt, that the law should be kept. But the main thing the reason why I'm doing this video is because of the fact that I talk about this topic all the time in terms of keeping the law and how important it is to keep the law. But the fact that you have many Christians and there's many people in this world who believe in lawlessness, basically because of the fact that they have no mindset to be disciplined to even serve the Most High. How you just have the freedom to do whatever you want now, and they think that just because Christ died for them, that we can just do whatever you want. We ain't got to worry about keep no Mosaic law and everything, and they don't even understand how they are just it's like the law it still stands. The law still stands to this day. It still stands. Like there's not going to be any point in time where the commandments of God where they ever fade away or they're ever going to be done away with at all. And that's one thing I'm going to get into as well, is kind of show y'all how these commandments and this so-called Mosaic law, it's not Moses' law, it's literally God's law, God's commandments, God's statutes that he gave to Moses so that he can give those same things to his people. It's just the fact that it was established in the time of Moses, how Moses, he was the one that was chosen to give out these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that people just try so hard to put emphasis on Moses, not knowing that it's still God that's implementing all this. You know what I'm saying? But let me go and show you something real quick. I'm just go ahead and kind of get into the lesson. Go ahead and get into the lesson and just show y'all just the flaws of Christianity and how they just just love to they love to just preach lawlessness. It's a lot. My father. Make sure my Wi-Fi is straight. It was just good seconds ago. Give me 1 second. But the first verse I'm going to go to is Deuteronomy 79, though. That's the first verse I want to go to. And I brought up this verse. If you follow me on TikTok and everything, and you went on, I think maybe last week, sometime last week, there was something called a round table talk where this brother on TikTok, his name is King Ahaya, and he did a round table talk for the Israelites, just so that we can, all get edified and just have a good time there. And he, gave me, the opportunity on his platform to, preach the word, and at the same time to just deal with the law, because he felt like that, it was just put on him in the spirit to just want to have me deal with the law and just show people why it's important to keep the law, and also at the same time too to express to people that the law is not done away with. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to kind of bring out some of the same verses that I brought out there, kind of even further, explain in a more I guess organized sense to how, like I said, the law in the Old Testament, because I'm just want to show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all how we all know the law is kept in the Old Testament, but I'm gonna give y'all just verses to show you how the law should be kept forever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm showing you how the law was kept in the Old Testament. I'm gonna give y'all prophecies of how the law is gonna be kept in the kingdom. I'm gonna show you how the law was kept around the time of Christ, how Christ kept the law. I'm also show y'all how even after Christ died, the law is still being kept. You know what I'm saying? And even I'm gonna show you all that stuff. So to basically just without any question, you know what I'm saying, that the law should still be kept through all the verses I'm gonna give y'all in this lesson. Because a lot of Christians may say that, oh, when Christ died, when he said it is finished, he's saying that, oh, we ain't gotta worry about keeping the law anymore. That's a lie. That's superimposing your own ideology into the text, when the text never said that. And Christ himself never said that he came to even abolish the law. I don't understand how people just take Matthew 5 and 17 19 And when he said he came to fulfill the law and take that as, oh, he came to just, get rid of it. Even though he said, think not, in that same chapter, in that same verse, he said, think not that I am come to destroy the law, that y'all say when he died, he destroyed the law and he abolished it. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's literally dumb. I really don't get it, but that's that strong delusion in 2 Thessalonians that the Bible talks about. They're under this strong delusion and they believe in a lie. You know what I'm saying? But let's go again to the lesson. Let's go again into it. So Deuteronomy 7:9. Deuteronomy 7:9. It reads, know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Read it again. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. All right. Now, when it says keepeth covenant, this is not referring to just any specific covenant, because we all know there's a covenant that was with Adam. That you got the Abrahamic covenant, you got the Mosaic covenant, you got covenant around the time when Yahushua, who people call Jesus Christ, came. You got many. You got the new covenant. You got many different covenants. You know what I'm saying, or many different specific covenants that you can pinpoint throughout the Bible. But it's not talking about any specific covenant, because you all know, like every covenant, according to Romans 9:4, every covenant pertains to Israel. But this is just talking about just a covenant in general, in terms of like whatever like bond or relationship, marriage that that the Most High has with his people, that's going to be kept forever. That's what's being talked about in this verse. All right. So he said that God, he keeps covenant with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Mind you, it said keep his commandments. And it even talks about how you even love him. In the same verse, we go to 1 John 5:3. How do you love God? This the love of God, that we keep his commandments. In order to show your love to God, you must keep his commandments. His commandments. Emphasis on the his. These are his commandments. All right. These are the commandments that Most High, he gave to his people, or he gave what's called to Moses to give to his people. All right. Slock, y'all give me 1 second, y'all. Slock, 1 second. All right, Slock, I had a text message I had to deal with real quick. Slock, anytime I make these recordings, I do like I have like a pause button that I may put on here, so I may have some little skips and everything in the recording. But let's get back to it. So, like I said, these are his commandments. These are his commandments, the commandments that he made, that he gave to Moses to give to his people. All right. This is not no man-made commandments, no man-made laws, no man-made statutes. These are all things that the Most High gave to his people, gave to Moses. All right, to give to Israel. Okay. So, which keep a covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. So so the Most High, he has a covenant with his people to love him, keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. So how long is a generation? So let's go to Google real quick. Salakia, I'm stumbling over my words. Let's go to Google and look up how long a generation is. All right. How long is a generation? So it says about 25 years. So basically, if you don't know what a generation is just, let's say you have a kid. Whenever you have a kid, that's when a new generation starts. And then when your kid has a kid, another generation. So generations just happen to just like, continue. They continue after you have kids and continue to have like grandkids, great grandkids, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point is that however long it may be, whether it be 25 years, 30 years, however old you may be, I'm just going to use approximately 25 years to, just kind of get this math going, right? So a generation is approximately 25 years. So take 25 times 1,000. 25 times 1,000. That's 25,000 years, all right? 25,000 years. So around the time Moses wrote this, let's go to the timeline to just see when was this written. All right, go to the timeline. Do some quick math real quick. All right. Quick math. Scroll down. Deuteronomy. So Deuteronomy 7 right here was like written around 1400 BC. All right. Around 1400 BC was when Moses gave this statement about how he's going to keep the covenant with the people for 1,000 generations. Okay. So take 1400 BC and add 25,000. 1400 BC and add 25,000. And as you know, as we should know, this, like when it says 1,000 generations, we're not saying that it's going. I'm not saying that it's going to stop after 1,000 generations. Like it's just this like a symbol or a metaphor for just how long he's going to keep his covenant with his people, but it's going to be forever. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be forever. It's not. He's never going to. You know what I'm saying? Leave his people. He's never going to break his covenant with his people at all. Like he's going to keep his covenant for a long, like literally for eternity. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when it says about this, when it use this phrasing, 1,000 generations, it is showing you how long it's going to be. That would let you know it's a long ass time. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point is that just doing the math, right? 1400 BC, add 25,000. That's basically like way past the time that we're in now. Because basically this in the time in 2022, the time we're in now, Moses wrote this basically 3,000 years before 2022. And 25,000 is way more than 3,000. So Moses is saying that he's going to keep a covenant with his people even past 2022, going deep into the future. Like this is going to be like way after, you know what I'm saying? Because we all know that we're in the end time. We all know we're in the end times right now. We all know that, you know what I'm saying? So Moses is saying that even after this world ends, and even going into the new heaven, new earth, he's going to keep a covenant with this people. That goes into the new covenant in Hebrews 8:8, Jeremiah 31:31. That new covenant, he's going to keep a covenant with his people, even going into the new heaven, new earth. And this covenant is going to be kept. And how will this covenant be kept? How we're going to love him and keep his commandments for 1,000 generations. So the whole point of me bringing out this verse is, how in the hell is the law done away with if we're supposed to keep these commandments for 1,000 generations? If God said he's going to have a covenant with us for 1,000 generations, and that in that covenant we're going to be keeping his commandments, then how is the law done away with? How? How? It don't make any sense whatsoever. And the fact that a lot of Christians don't have just like, I don't get it. I don't understand how y'all can just preach that the law is just done when the Bible literally tells you, like, it's clear as day in the Bible, in the Apocrypha, it's clear as day that we should keep the commandments of God. These laws and commandments of God, we should keep them. All right. It's just that Christians have such their own mindset of what they think Paul may be saying, or what they think the Bible is saying. They take it, twist it, and flip it, and then make it seem like that, oh, Paul's preaching that the law's done away with. I'm gonna even go to Paul to even show you how during the time of Paul, and even in Paul's writings, he taught to keep the law. And I can even have a conversation with a Christian, and and we can chop it up and just see where they have a misunderstanding of certain verses, because they may not really understand certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because they may go to Romans, they may go to Corinthians, they go to all these verses to show how Paul said that or the law is done away with and everything like that, but they may not really understand what those verses even mean. That's why I don't really deal with Christians all the time, because of the fact that they have that same mindset that the law is done and we're under grace now. We're under a new, even though we are under grace, but they don't even understand the verse where it says, even though we're under grace, do we still sin? Meaning that do we break the law just because we're not under the law? They don't even understand what David means, but I'm not going to get too deep into that, you know what I'm saying, just yet. All right. So next verse I want to go to. So Deuteronomy 7:9, it proves, first of all, that proves, we all know that in Deuteronomy, like that's during the time of Moses. So we all know during that time they were keeping the law. But I just gave y'all that verse to show y'all how keeping the law is going to be everlasting. Like it's gonna be forever, basically. You know what I'm saying? Just do that one verse, okay? But now I want to show y'all something concerning the y'all Lord and Savior, your Lord and your personal Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and you know exactly what we should be doing if we consider ourselves saints or so-called Christians. A lot of people call themselves Christians, and we all know that what the word Christian just means follower of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Someone that follows Christ, right? So 1 Peter 2:21, it says, "For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps." So basically, we all know that this verse is referring to how whatever Christ did, we should at least aim to do the exact same things. You know what I'm saying? The way that he lived this life, he's a prime example. He's a blueprint into how we should live our life. Verse 22 says, "Who did no sin." Basically, it's saying that if you go to 1 John 3:4, sin is transgression of the law. So the Bible is saying that he did not transgress the law at any point in time. At any point in time, did he transgress? Did he transgress the law? He kept the law. And he said that himself. Christ, out of his own mouth, said himself that he kept the law. All right, let's go to it real quick. John 15:10. How he kept his father's commandments, which refers back to the Mosaic law, which is not Moses' law, it's God's law. It's God's law. I'm gonna keep saying that. The Mosaic law is God's laws, statutes, and commandments that he gave to Moses. And it was called the Mosaic law because it was established, all those laws and commandments, it was established at the time of Moses. God chose Moses to establish those laws and commandments, statutes and commandments. All right. So John 15:10, words of Yahushua, who call Christ, it reads, "If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love." All right. And even if people want to go further to even say, oh, you got the law of Christ and everything like that, how the law of Christ says just to love your neighbor and love others, and also love God with all your heart. They don't even understand what he even meant by that. They think that it's just two laws that we got to keep, and that's it. They don't think we got to keep a Sabbath. They don't think we got to keep any feast days. They don't think we got to keep any, you know what I'm saying, like new moons or whatever. All we gotta do is just, just try to love people, love people, love everybody, and that's it. But no, even Christ himself said that he kept his Father's commandments. His Father's commandments. Even going back to the Mosaic law, which is his commandments. You know what I'm saying? So even if this one I want to ask Christians Christians who believe that we shouldn't keep the law. What makes you think you're so special that you don't have to keep the law, but Christ did? What makes you think you're so special that you don't have to keep the Most High's commandments, but Christ did? Christ, your personal Lord and Savior, who has way more importance than you in life, way more importance than you in life. What makes you think that you're so special and you're so high and mighty and so filled with the Holy Spirit that you ain't gotta keep the commandments of God, but even Christ himself did? And if you're supposed to be a Christian, a follower of Christ, and Christ is a prime example of how we should live, why are you not doing what he did? And what he did was keep the commandments of God. It don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. So I gave y'all one verse, Deuteronomy 7:9. Like I said, we all know how back then in the Old Testament they kept the law. We all know that. I'm even give you a New Testament verses showing you how Christ himself, your personal Lord and Savior, even he kept the commandments. Even he did. Now let's go after Christ died, because everybody has this mindset. A lot of people have this mindset that, oh, after Christ died, that was when what's called the law was done away with. When he said it is finished, the law was destroyed. But that goes against that goes against Matthew 5:17, what he said. That literally goes against his point of even being on the earth. Literally, he said himself, think not that I am come to destroy the law. I don't get it. I don't get it. How do y'all get out of when he said it is finished? That means that he came to that he destroyed the law and that the law was done away with when he died. I mean, he himself said think not that I am come to destroy the law. You're making Christ contradict himself. Y'all because people there, we all know in the Bible there are no contradictions. But the way that Christians talk, a lot of Christians talk, they make the Bible contradict itself. Y'all make Christ seem hypocritical. He said himself, think not that I have come to destroy the law. But then y'all say when he died, he destroyed the law. That doesn't make any sense at all. Then he even said in verse 18, till heaven and earth pass. Did heaven and earth pass yet? No, it did not. Easy, that's easy answer. Till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't get how y'all take just these verses and just say that it means this when it means something completely different. And it's not hard to break these verses down. It's the fact that y'all have just a strong delusion. A strong delusion. But now let me go to Paul, right? Let's go to Paul and show y'all even how Paul himself, not only around the time of his ministry and his apostleship, he was being taught the law, and he even taught the law himself. He was being taught the law. He taught the law to his people himself. His whole ministry included preaching the law and the commandments of God. So let me show you something real quick. In Acts 13. Acts 13, 14. All right. I'm starting at verse 13. So it says, now when Paul and his company loosed from Paphos, they came from Perga to Pamphylia, and John departed from them, returned to Jerusalem. But when they departed from Perga, they came to Antioch and went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day. Wow, look at that. The Sabbath day is being mentioned after Christ died. And we all know Acts is after Christ's death. Y'all should know that. Everybody should know that. Acts is after Christ died, right? So after Christ died, they're going to the synagogue on the Sabbath day. Why is the Sabbath being mentioned in the New Testament? Why is the Sabbath being mentioned after Christ died? If after Christ died, he got rid of all of that, why is it still being mentioned? Explain that to me. Verse 15. And after the reading of the law and the prophets, somebody please explain that to me. If the law is supposed to be done away with after Christ died, why are they reading the law on the Sabbath day to the people of Israel? Why? If it's supposed to be done away with, why is the law still being read to them in the synagogues on the Sabbath if it's done away with? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Any sense whatsoever. Any sense. Not only that, let's go to Acts 21 real quick. Just giving y'all verses showing y'all how even after Christ died, the law was still being kept. Even after his death. Even though people say that, oh, like when he died, he got rid of it. It doesn't make any sense. All right, so Acts 21. Acts 21. I'll start at verse 24. I'll start at verse 23. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole, breakdown of this verse, but I just want to kind of show y'all how, like, Paul himself, he was keeping the law, or they got Paul to do something called a Nazirite vow. And a Nazirite vow, that's something that's contained within the Mosaic law. So once again, if the law is done away with, why are they keeping a law or doing a law or commandment that's in the Mosaic covenant, or that's from the Mosaic covenant? Why? I don't get it. Please explain to me. I need some answers. But let's start at verse 23. So it says, do therefore this that we say to thee, we have 4 men which have a vow on them. So basically there's like a meeting between Paul and all the other apostles because of the fact that there are people trying to basically take a council together to basically try to like kill Paul because they thought that he said that Gentiles should not circumcise their children, right? So that there's an issue going on, where people are trying to kill Paul. So they're trying to like basically convince people that Paul himself, he was keeping the law and that he wasn't teaching to break the law, all right? So, like I said, this vow is a Nazirite vow. I'm gonna get that verse in a minute, show y'all where the Nazirite vow is and where it came from, and how, like I said, it's in the Mosaic law, the Mosaic covenant, all right? It says, them take and purify thyself with them, and be at charge with them, that they may shave their heads, and all may know that those things whereof they were informed concerning thee are nothing, but that thou that thou thyself also walkest orderly and keepest the law. So they're trying to get Paul to keep the law, even though he still preached. He always preached. And in his ministry, he never preached about the law being done away with. He never did. Never did. Never. It's just the fact that people don't understand Paul and they didn't understand what he was saying. So they thought that he taught to not keep the law. That's what they thought. But they had James, all the other apostles. They got Paul to keep basically do something that was contained within the Mosaic law. Once again, this is after Christ died. So please explain to me, Christians who believe that the law is done away with. If the law is done away with, and even if it was done away with after Christ died, why is the law still being kept after his death? Why is Paul teaching to keep the law? I'm gonna show you something real quick. Let's give out just one verse. How Paul himself taught to keep the law. Romans 3:31. He said, "Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yea, we establish the law." What does that mean? Yea, we establish the law. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means we keep the law, basically. Just because we have faith, it says, "Do we then make void?" Basically, that means do we get rid of the law because we have faith? Do we get rid of the law because of faith? No. No. That's literally what it says. Do we get rid of the law because of faith? No. No. We establish the law. That means we keep the law. It's very simple. But I don't understand how Christians I don't understand how Christians I don't understand how they have this ideology. I don't understand. I really don't understand it. It's very confusing to me. Very confusing. But I got a few more verses I'm gonna give y'all. A few more verses. Like I said, I showed y'all how basically we all know that in the Old Testament they kept the law. I showed y'all how Christ himself, he kept the law. After Christ died, the law was still being kept. Now I'm gonna show y'all prophecies of how even after the world is done and in the new heaven, new earth, the law is going to be kept. I'm gonna show you that too. So let's go to Zechariah 14 real quick. Zechariah 14. And y'all give me 1 second. Zechariah 14, I'm gonna start at verse 2. Zechariah 14:2. All right. So this is a prophecy referring to something called the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. The Valley of Jehoshaphat is basically a point in time where you're going to have all the nations come against Israel to fight them, and they're going to lose. Right. And this is going to happen. This is going to happen before the new heaven, new earth is established. All right. So I'm going to kind of just read this prophecy and kind of go a little bit into it, and I'm gonna make my point concerning the law in a minute. All right. So Zechariah 14:2, it reads, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the woman ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle." All right. So let's go to the Joel 3 real quick. Joel 3. Because there's like the same wording here, referring to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is basically like what could be called also Armageddon. All right. So it says Joel 3:2, "I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." All right. And then skip down to verse 7 and verse 7 through 13. And show y'all what's going to happen to these Gentiles or to these non-Israelites in this war. All right, in this Valley of Jehoshaphat. It says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head." Right? That's Revelation 14:10 or 13:10. Basically they're going to reap what they sow. "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." All right. Verse 8 says, "And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah." This is just like this is not only like going to show you how the law just to be kept. This even goes into Gentile salvation. How people try to say that, oh, like heathens can be saved too, the same way that or Christ died died for everybody, just like how like no, everybody don't have the same salvation as Israel at all. If they did, then these prophecies are just false. All right. But he said that during this time of the Battle of Jehoshaphat, he said that I will sell your sons. He talked to the heathens. I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. For the Lord has spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles: prepare war, make up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, beat your plowshares and the swords, and your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Basically trying to give them some sense of pride. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like even though we're fighting against a divine power, the most high, the most divine power in the world, let's still have this sense of pride in us to want to fight him and his people, right? Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fast overflow, for their wickedness is great. So basically, all this talking about is talking about, like I said, how the heathens in this time in the valley of Jehoshaphat, they're going to basically be fighting against Israel, right? They're going to fight against Israel, and they're going to lose that fight, and that's what's going to happen before the new heaven, new earth. So I want to kind of get that out the way first. I'm gonna kind of segue into what's going to happen after that. All right, how the heathen, they're going to or the ones that remain, they're going to come and serve us, and they're going to be doing something that contains, you know what I'm saying, keeping them, or part of them serving us is basically keeping the Mosaic law. All right, we're keeping the commandments of God, letting you know once again that the law is not done away with. All right, so Zechariah 14:14. So it reads once again, talking about the valley of Jehoshaphat. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. All right. Verse 16 reads, it shall come to pass. So when it says it shall come to pass, letting you know that it's a prophecy that's going to happen at some point in time. Don't know exactly when, but it's going to happen at some point in time before the new heaven, new earth is going to be established. Or Slaki, no. And this verse right here in verse 16, this is talking about new heaven, new earth, though. Slaki, that's my fault. Slaki. All right. So it says, it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem. So after the battle of Jehoshaphat, after that battle, all the heathens remaining, this was going to happen, which came against them shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and keep the Feast of Tabernacles. They're going to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. That is a law within the Mosaic law, within the Mosaic covenant. So please explain to me, Christians, if the law is done away with, why even in the kingdom the law would be kept? I already showed y'all how the law, it was kept before Christ, during Christ, and after Christ. All these verses that I'm showing y'all is just clear as day that the law is kept forever. The law, it stands forever. I'm gonna end off with the verse that shows you that says the exact same thing, how the law stands forever, right? But the Feast of Tabernacles, that's basically like I said, that's part of the Mosaic law. That's from the Mosaic, the old so-called what they call Old Covenant, or that's old. That's done away with. It was done away with. Why are people still keeping it, even in a new heaven, new earth? Y'all got to say that God changed it. So how God gonna sit there and how is he gonna judge you after a sin if you're not keeping the law? Like if the law is just done away with, right? What is he gonna judge you off? If there is no law, like what is he gonna judge you off? Because that's how you know what sin is. Sin is transgression of the law. Sin is not just like you not being nice. Like no, he's gonna judge you based off you whether or not you kept the law. So how is he gonna judge you if there's no law to even judge you on? Like what? But like I said, this verse is showing you how in the new heaven, new earth, the law was going to be kept. The law is going to be kept as well. All right. This is after this is after the Valley of Jehoshaphat, And after the world is destroyed, and new heaven, new earth is going to be established after that, right? Even when you go to Micah 5, I think Micah 4 and 2, Micah 4 and 2, where it says, and many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So in the new heaven, new earth, this basically what it's talking about when it says in the last days it shall come to pass, right, that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it. Basically saying how Israel, they're going to be above everybody. After, you know what I'm saying, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, after everybody go through their judgment, everything is destroyed, everything's wiped out, you know what I'm saying? The people that remain, they're gonna, be back in their land though, right? They're gonna be back in their land. When they're back in the land, they're gonna have Israel be above everybody. And they're gonna have to come to us and learn the law from us in the new heaven, new earth. All right. So that's how it's gonna be. How the law is just clear as day. Clear as day that the law is still gonna be kept in new heaven, new earth. All right. Now, I'm gonna give y'all three more verses. So Revelation 14:12. Revelation 14:12. It reads, here's the patience of the saints. Now, for the Christians that try to say, you know what I'm saying, that, oh, like you're a faithful servant, you're a saint, because like if I ask a Christian, are you a saint? They'll say, oh, yes, I'm a saint, a saint of the Lord. I'm a servant, I'm a child of God. Of course, Christians, they'll poke their chests out and say proudly that they're a saint of God. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a saint, this is what you should be doing. All right. Matter of fact, let me kind of go before it, because it says right here, right? Because it's talking about the mark of the beast. Okay, it's talking about the mark of the beast, right? It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Lamb of holy angels. There's the Lamb, all right. And the smoke of the torment is sent up forever and ever. Verse 9. Who worship the beast in his image, whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So this is talking about during the time where you're going to have a great tribulation, where they're going to try to basically implement the mark of the beast. So even in the time where they implement the mark of the beast, what is being said to the saints? Let's see what it says, verse 12. It says, here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. So even during the time of the Great Tribulation, where the mark of the beast will be implemented, it's being told to the saints to keep the commandments of God and the faith. Not just faith, the commandments of God and the faith. For those Christians who say that, oh, all you gotta do is just have faith and faith only, you obviously don't read James. You obviously don't read the Bible. It don't make any sense. If you just think it's just faith only, something wrong with you. The Bible clearly says to keep the laws well. With faith without works is dead. Clearly, I don't know why y'all just skip over that. I don't understand. But this is the prime example of faith with works. The faith of Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, and the commandments. Faith and works. Let me also go Revelation 22 and 14. Revelation 22 and 14. It says, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have rights to that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. The city of Jerusalem, the new Jerusalem, new heaven, new earth. All right. That's what's talking about in this verse. The tree of life, the only way you can inherit, even touch the tree of life, or even inherit the city, is by keeping his commandments. Whose commandments? The commandments of the Most High, the commandments of God, which is his law. So for those who keep thinking that, oh, like I can just do whatever I want, you're living, bro, you're living wrong. You're living wrong. I got one more verse. I'm gonna be done. One more verse, I'm gonna be done. All right. Baruch 4 and 1. And this just ends it all. All right. Baruch 4 and 1. This is the book of the commandments of God. This is the book of the commandments of God, not the commandments of Moses, not the commandments of Jesus, the commandments of God. Every single law, statute, and commandment that's in the Bible, it all comes from God. It all comes from God. All of it does. All of it. All of it. All right. So this is the book of the commandments of God in the law that endureth forever. In the law that endureth forever. Forever. All right. Then it says, all they that keep it. So all they that keep the laws, commandments of God, it shall come to life. All they that keep it shall come to life. But such as leave it shall die. I don't understand how a lot of Christians try to say that, oh, well, the law causes you to die. The law leads to death. Where does it say that? What does it say the law leads to death? Where? If the Bible says that, then there's contradiction. Because how can the Apocrypha turn around and say, oh, the law leads to life, but you say that, oh, Paul said the law leads to death? That's your misunderstanding. That's where we have misunderstanding. The Bible, because like I said, we all know the Bible never contradicts. Just the fact that people, when they take it and read it, they don't understand what it's saying. So all that you keep the laws, commandments of God, you shall live. But if you leave it, you shall die. So all you lawlessness preachers of lawlessness, y'all are going to die according to the Bible. According to the Bible, since you preach to not keep the commandments of God, it's not keep the law, you're leading people to death, basically. That's what you're doing. All right. So I hope that y'all can, like I said, if there's any Christian that may have that mindset of, oh, we gotta just, we can do whatever you want. All we gotta do is just have faith. That's it. Y'all, I may go on live, I'm saying, on TikTok. I do this all the time. I dedicate a lot of my lives to just, open questions and for people that may have questions about, I'm saying, certain things. But I know I'm gonna just do a couple of lives, I'm saying, in the future, where I just strictly focus on the law to see where people have this mindset of we shouldn't keep the law, we don't have to keep it anymore, I'm saying, to really just understand where they're coming from and see exactly if that aligns with scripture, which I already know it don't. Hopefully I can convince them that the law should still be kept regardless of, what they believe in and what they think the Bible says. What I'm saying? But I want to end this off and give them all praise to Yahweh Shem Shah. Until next time, shalom.